It's been a while. Sorry about that. Yeah, it has been way, way too long since I've last been on this server. I just... Some IRL stuff came up. It got a little bit crazy, and I just didn't really have enough time or energy on my hands to record. But I'm back, and better than ever, I hope. I don't know. Maybe I've forgotten how to make Minecraft videos. Who knows? But that means that I've had a lot of time to just think about episode plans, what we're gonna do. I have this really cool plan for stuff to do over here. And I'm not gonna do it today. Thought about it for 2 weeks. Created the plan, and I'm not gonna do it because I came up with a plan that I think is a lot cooler, and I just want to try it. So, there are some materials that we need for our mushroom, and we need a lot of them that we don't have. This stem right here, it's going to feature a lot of, like, the stripped warped wood. It's going to feature a lot of that stuff. And that's going to be a really big color in the color palette of this place and everything. So we are going to need a lot of that wood. We're going to need a way to get a lot of that wood. Now, there are, like, the fully automatic farms, and those are nice, but also, I'm scared of those. That scares me. Maybe I'll build it later once I have more confidence with building big technical things with, like, TNT dupers and, like, pushers and flying machines, and I fell in a hole. But yeah, maybe once I get more confident with that stuff, I'll build an automatic one and just let that run, because having an automatic wood source would be very, very, very good. But, I mean, I don't mind doing, like, thoughtless labor. Like, I could just farm it all manually. But then you have to, like, plant the trees, bone meal them, wait for them to grow. They do grow, and then you have to, like, chop them back down. And, like, it's annoying because they get really, really tall. And, like, I don't want to do that. Like, I can do redstone. I can do elevators. I can do all these fancy things to make it so it's still, like, technically manual, but, like, fun manual. Funual. It's a funual tree farm. No, that word is not good. I'm not gonna use that. I'm not gonna use that word anymore. Funual. It's like funnel. But yeah. I was thinking of... So, my main plan here is, like, with this base, the closer you get to this thing, the taller the buildings are gonna be. And so, this farm, because the trees are really tall, this farm is also gonna be really tall. And so, I want to build it a little bit closer to this, on this island, which is gonna be our first build besides the mushroom on this island. Which is gonna be pretty cool. I don't think I'm gonna build it super far in. Maybe, like, here. It's gonna be, like, or maybe, like, here. It's gonna be, like, 40 blocks tall. Because the trees can grow, or no, 30 blocks tall. The trees can grow 30 blocks tall. Maybe, like, 35, 40 blocks tall. And so, that's about, like, up to there. There. Like, it's about a third of the way up. So... maybe right here. Yeah, sure, right here. Why not? It's also... it's kind of a thin build, since the trees themselves are so thin and tall. The build kind of has to mimic that. But yeah, I've been doing some resource gathering, and I have enough stuff to build this farm, I think, question mark? I'm not sure about the redstone. I have enough stuff to maybe shell it around the outside, though. I did gather enough stuff to build a shell around this guy, and that guy, and that guy. I realized that I needed some warped wood, though, and some acacia. I did grab a little bit of acacia. Just a little. Also, while I was chopping those trees down, I noticed something. The trees are acting a little bit differently. And it makes me wonder, did I finally win? Is Tree Feller gone? Yes, it's gone! I can sneak while breaking trees. I can, like... oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's so good. That is so good. That's nice. I win. Tree Feller is gone. Haha, take that. I win. But yeah, I guess all that there really is to do is to, like, clear out the area and get building. Now, this is a design that I made up. And I do not know if it works in multiplayer, because I'm using a player-based slime elevator, which those are always a little bit janky in multiplayer, but I'm hoping it'll be fine, because it is in fact a different design than this one. It times itself with string and observers, and it's more compact. That's right, I did it. I built an elevator that is more compact than this one. It is 2x1. It is the smallest you can make a piston elevator in this game. I'm very proud of it. Okay, it's 3x1 technically, because like the pistons go out and there's also string there. But it looks like it's 2x1 when it's closed. But yeah, now it's time to get cracking with the farm. I should probably clear out my inventory first, though. It appears I have a visitor. Anyways, I got all the building materials together, or at least the actual building blocks themselves. I think I have enough redstone. I haven't checked. And I'm not going to check, and I'm just going to assume that my redstone box is full of enough random redstone that I'll just have the stuff that I need. That's a username down there. I see them. They're still there. I think they had a big box of concrete they wanted to give me because they decided that they didn't want concrete in their base. Alright, so I have just done a trade deal with Acer. That's 18 stacks of white concrete for all the random paper I had. So, pretty good deal if you ask me. Wait, I also got a shulker box. Alright, first and foremost, I need to do the bottom layer of redstone, which is that's really all the redstone that there is. The rest of it is just the elevator, which... Okay, maybe I should test to see if the elevator works before building the farm. And then if it doesn't work, I can, like, cry. Yes. Oh, huh? Oh no! Why'd that get stuck out there? Is that just a lag thing? If it lags, do the pulses not come at the right times? Oh no. That's sad. That's really sad. Gotta build a bubble column. Gotta redesign it to work with... Alright, much redesigning later, much sadness later. A long time spent wallowing in my sadness, and even longer time spent figuring out how to get this dang thing to work with a bubble column without it, like, drowning you. I think I came up with something. First things first, we need to actually set up the thing that makes the trees, and then we need a comparator. Place the comparator right here. And so basically what this is going to do is, when a fungus grows into a tree right here, it's going to detect it through the block, the bone meal in this dispenser. And then we take the signal from the comparator, redirect it into a piston, like so. And then run that into a pair of observers here, and they're going to kiss and make some very flashy sounds and noises. And then that signal runs into a block and that dispenser. And what that'll do is that. And so then that is going to grow a nether tree. And then we can also use that signal. The redstone dust there. Piston there. It's going to push me off. Thank you. And then we use that observer to power this piston here, which is going to have a slime block on it. And what that'll do is, once we chop down the tree, that's going to push us away. We're going to put a soul sand there, and this is where our elevator would have gone, but it's a bubble column. And then we're going to need a couple blocks back here just to stop us from flying off the end like we did earlier. And I believe that is actually the bottom section of the farm complete. And so if we take a little trip down here, That's gonna push us back here, and then start the clock. And what we have to do here is we have to break the plant until we get a tree. Sometimes takes a while, which is why drowning was a problem. But then when that grows, it's gonna stop the clock and everything, and that activates the next part of the farm. This is really the farm part of the farm. Like, you could use this if you had a staircase. But, I don't know if you know me, but I love just building things. I love redstone interacting with the way that you move around in the game. I just think that's so interesting. Like launch pads and stuff and little elevators that boing you around. Just the way you move around your world and interact with it. Like, you can use redstone to change it and make it more fun, which is something I really like. Hang on, since those blocks are breakable with a hoe only, like breaking them with your fist takes a really long time. I'm actually gonna go make one real quick. I'll just put efficiency 5 on it for now. I can enchant it up later when my inventory isn't such a disaster. Because I do need to, there we go. I need to clear this out because this will get in the way of the redstone. Alright, now that our tree farm is looking significantly less like a tree, it's time to actually build the elevator part of the farm, which is admittedly the fun part. It is just a bubble column, but it is what makes this farm fun. The loop that this takes you through. Alright, so to activate the elevator, we're going to pull a signal off of this comparator right here, because when this is lit up, it means there's a tree here, and there's nothing left to do down here. And we're going to pull that off, invert it, snake it around up here in a really awkward way, and then lead it into a piston right there. And that's going to extend and block off the player from bopping up and down in the water that's going to be right here. Alright, so then we're going to pull a signal from here as well, and then lead it into a block. Redstone here, and that is going to activate a couple of dispensers, which will remove the water when the elevator is done being used and we're back down here. And then in order to get them to put the water back when this piston retracts, we're going to need to take a redstone signal from there, kind of redirect it up through here, and then into a piston with an observer facing this way, I believe. And then that's going to run into a block right here, which will activate this redstone and pull the water back in. Now we just need to fill in all of this. And this is where the door to the farm is going to go. So can put a door there right now, just before I forget. And then we need some signs to keep the water from going everywhere. And I am opting to use signs here, just so, because if I had trapdoors here or something, or if I just like put the door on the other side, there would be a chance if you aligned yourself badly on this block that you would just get launched into here and then get caught on it and cry. And so in theory, at least, if I put some water buckets in these dispensers, or no, I'm going to want right now, because the elevator thinks that there's a tree right here, I'm going to want to place the water in the elevator and hope that it doesn't go anywhere. Looks like it isn't going anywhere so far, which is a good sign. Alright, so now when we break this log, the farm should basically have a dry run. And so I just got to keep breaking this until it makes a mushroom. And then once that happens, the elevator will activate and send me upwards. But now it's time for the upper section. But I am going to need some buckets to fill stuff in. Or do we have kelp? We do have kelp. I can use a little bit of big brain technology here and just kelp it. Alright, from here I think I need to go up like 25 blocks. Alright, I actually need to go up another block because the diagram I had in my world was a little weird. Alright, so I got a water source at the top there, and I just need to make all of these guys water sources, and I can just spam click bone meal on here until it doesn't bone meal anymore. And then we have a little elevator, yay! Boo. I hate these things. Sometimes you gotta use them though. Alright, now this is where the redstone also gets kind of fun. Because at least, okay, admittedly, this also might not work because I'm again using tripwire hooks. I'm using string and observer to trigger a piston. So against my better judgment, maybe, I'm gonna use a string here and then an observer, funnel that through this kind of weird snaky redstone line into this piston. And then that should, in theory, kind of boop me over here. I'm going to have some more redstone stuff to lower me back down. Alright. I've tested this a couple times. It seems to be, at least, like, I can deal with the... if it's inconsistent a couple of times, I can deal with it. It's not going to, like, leave the slime block out of phase or anything, or, like... It's not going to break anything. So I'm also going to take the weird snaky redstone signal, which is... This is why it snakes. So I can pull it off of here, through here, and then through a couple of repeaters to make the right pulse length for this observer. And so that's going to generate 2 pulses. And it just occurred to me, if the way this generates pulses is inconsistent, it might break this. I hope it doesn't break it. I don't know. As long as it works, I guess. It might fire twice or something, but it should be fine. If it's not, I can always come up with a different solution. Oh, that worked. I mean, I didn't mean for it to work, but it worked. So then, all we should need to do is just place a water bucket here, and then build a tube here for the player to go down. So yes, this farm really does just take the player up and then back down. That is most of the redstone of this farm. It is the weirdest tree farm I've ever seen, but I think it's got charm. Oh wait, no. Oh crap. I realized too late. I realized too late that this is gonna spray water everywhere. No. Okay, shut up, please. Thank you. This is the worst. Alright, but I think the only thing that destroyed is the comparator. Where is that thing? There it is. That's a repeater. There's a comparator. Why was there a repeater? I also took out the repeater. Minimal damage. Good. Although that does bring up an interesting problem. If there's no tree in here, the water elevator will in fact flood the redstone and break it. But I don't see a situation in which you could have no tree right here with the elevator going down, so I'm sure it's fine. What the... Why? Oh my god. No. Whose idea was it to make water a redstone component? Okay, well, I mean, that was bound to happen. I don't think it broke anything that time, though. Alright. That should be the redstone done, unless something broke further. Alright. So, I think this should be everything working. Yeah, it's really dark in here. I am going to put some lights in here later. But, basically, I just gotta go down here, break all this wood. I don't have inventory space. Is that going to launch everything into the elevator and break it? Maybe. That's a problem. Get out of here, get out of here. There we go. Sorry you can't see, but I am just breaking the logs here. And then, in theory, once I get to this bottom one... Oh, there was a block stuck right here. Oh, I took that out. That's sad. Luckily, I have some extra warped nylium. It does appear to have broken. What broke? It made it... Huh? It must have made a one-tick pulse somehow. What? Water? Hello? Water? Hello? Where did you come from? Oh my god. Oh, it spat out its bucket. Okay. Well, it appears everything is broken. I'm just going to take out that string for now. I don't want to break everything further. I'm going to fix this up and get back to you when it's all repaired. Alright, and a little bit of testing later, a little bit of messing around, and I can now attest to the fact that the farm is now complete and working and up and running. It doesn't have a shell around it or anything just quite yet, but it is working. I just opted to replace the double pulse from there with just the button, and then just move the player with the water. The farm is admittedly in a much less fun state than it was before. Now it's kind of boring. It just uses water to move the player around. Besides that one launch. That one launch is fun. It's not automatic or anything, but it's at least like more fun than doing it manually. And you don't have to, like, do anything awkward to get back up the tree or anything. Hang on, I need to sort my hotbar here so it's better. But yeah, this farm is ready to be just used. But because we need a decent amount of this stuff for the mushroom. Oh, one thing I did forget, actually, an off switch. If I just hook this redstone line up into here, I can give the farm a fake signal that there's a block there, which will shut it up and keep it quiet, keep anything from running. And then when I want to use the farm, I can just flick this, and it should just go. And then I can just flick that lever, turn the farm off, close that door, and we're good. So yeah, now all we gotta do is build a shell around this. But for now, I'm just gonna run this farm for a while, chill out, and just, yeah, get some wood from this and actually use the farm. Alright, I've been using this farm for about like an hour now, and I have a pretty decent haul. Yeah, got about 12 and a half stacks. And yeah, it's been pretty smooth moving for the most part. I actually did figure out an optimization. I put a string there instead of a button. I found that the input is, the player's moving slow enough, and the input is consistent enough that it does work. And it isn't inconsistent, which is really nice. There are a couple times where it's really interesting. If you get a mushroom on the first try, it does actually break. Like, if you get a mushroom on the first try and then bone meal it on one of the first tries, then the slime block doesn't actually have time to push you out of the way, and the tree forms before them. Or even worse, the tree forms while that slime block is out, which has happened 1 or 2 times. And then it's a little bit awkward to fix, because the slime block gets stuck, and then you have to break everything. You do end up breaking it when you're going back down, and you can just put it back in place. So it's not terrible, it's not super annoying, and it has only happened, like, twice in an hour, so it's not a huge deal. So I was thinking it would be kind of cool if I set it up so there were windows on the outside of those tubes. Or at least, like, I'm not sure about this one, but I could make this tube out of glass. And so I think setting it up so I can put windows on both of those tubes would be nice. Thinking it'd be pretty cool if I, like, kind of did this and then it made it slant inwards a little bit. And then come to a taper a little bit at the top. Yeah, I feel like if I make the wall kind of go inwards towards that shape, it'll frame the mushroom really nicely. Like, especially if you're lower down here, I feel like it'll kind of make things open up, and then you can still see that, which I think would be cool. So I guess I'll continue building the frame. Alright, and I've got this little frame built up. And this is going to be the rough shape of the building. You can kind of see it with the wireframe. I think it's going to look cool. And I mean, I guess the pros of using concrete powder is that I can just build the wall by doing this. And alright. I have the walls in. They're still concrete powder, but that's just, like, pretty simple to fix. Just a single water bucket, pretty much. Although those torches might be annoying. But yeah, this is the shape of the building. You can definitely see it a lot better now that it's not wireframe or anything. Alright, and it has been wetted. It's not done, obviously. It still needs to be detailed, but this is a nice blank slate for me to use. One thing that I think would be cool if I could incorporate it is some windows. Like some long vertical windows in here. And it appears that I have built the building wrong. And so it is going to be asymmetrical. Let me go fix this. Okay, and a decent amount of tiers later, it's done. I mean, I shrank it by a block, and so now these windows should be symmetrical with here, and they should also line up with this right here. And so in theory, if I just like break through here, I can make a window so you can see out of it while you're going up and down it, which I think is going to be really cool. And I feel like for symmetry's sake, I should move the... I should move these windows up. Make them both the same height as those ones. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. It could also be like framed by some of this stuff. Or is that too much? Is that too much framing? Yeah, that looks a little noisy there. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Maybe I could frame them with some of this. What if I just frame the outside of these? Like that? That looks a little dumb. I could have them inset in here, just so it's a little less noisy and they're a little less obvious. I can see that. I can see that looking okay. Here, let me try it on everything. Alright, and that is everything put in there. It feels alright. I think it just feels a little bit weird having these single blocks. I feel like if these were something like deep slate, then it would kind of be more cohesive and feel less like weird stripes. I think it might also look a little cooler once the windows are actually in here, which I might do in like black stained glass, maybe tinted glass, because that's less annoying to get. Alright, and I have made up my mind. I'm gonna go with light blue stained glass, because I think it'll go nicely with everything here, since this is already kind of a light blue thing. But what I think I should be able to do here is something like this. I'm just gonna go through and add the windows in like that. Yeah, okay, that looks cool. That looks good. That's good, that's good. The fact that it looks good is very good. Now, I mean, is this even gonna look different? No. It's not gonna look different. And then I guess on the outside of these windows, I feel like if I did more deep slate, that might be a little bit of, like, too much deep slate. Although, I did just have an idea. What if I just do warped warp block? I also do have to do the other one, but that one is going to be much more interesting, let's say. I think if I just, like, whoop. Alright, and after a little bit of precarious placing of blocks, both sides are done. I think that looks pretty cool. It might look cooler if the inside was lit up, and I feel like I could do that just with some shroom lights, because I have been collecting a little bit of them. Oh, it does sound like I broke something down here, though. Ah, yes. But yeah, as I said earlier, I feel like something is missing, or like something feels off, and I have an idea. I could put some walls up here. Alright, and yeah, I think that looks a lot better. That gives kind of the effect I wanted. Yeah. Alright, well, I'd say this is a pretty good point to stop the episode. The outer shell isn't complete yet. I still need to do the details of it a little bit, but I think this episode is starting to drag on, and we can get this done at a later point in time. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to use all the slime block flinging and stuff because of server lag, but I was kind of expecting that, which is why I had the backup plan of bubble column in mind while I made this. But yeah, we did a decent chunk of stuff today. We got an entire building done. This is like definitely the biggest thing we've built so far, besides the mushroom, of course. But it's the biggest thing besides the main base that we've built, and I think it looks pretty good. It's thumbnail ready, at least. The sides of it and the back of it aren't quite done, but I can put this in a thumbnail and it'll look complete enough. So that's good with me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.